Hello and thank you for joining me. My name is Alan and today's video is about a stove that is really becoming my go-to stove for boiling water, and it's the Mil-Tec Cook Stand, used in conjunction with Old Faithful a Monkey Boy stove. I've had to modify this, and at the end of the video there will be a number of pictures and a pictorial, it's less than a minute in length, to tell you how I make these fantastic alcohol stoves. Stay with me. Mil-Tec Cook Stand, I bought it on eBay from an outlet that is based in Northern Ireland. It was just under £12 delivered. The bump says it's 100 grams in weight, it's a little bit heavier, and it's made of stainless steel. If it is stainless steel, then it's a fairly poor quality, it's extremely magnetic, and it's not shiny like A2. But at the end of the day, it seems fine. It comes in a little pouch. It's a bit funny, or it was to me, because it's got a belt loop on it, and I can't think of anyone who'd want to walk around with a little pouch on their trouser belt. But it is what it is. So it's in a little pouch. There's a burning platform, because you can use it for hexi, although in the UK that's extremely hard to come by. Because I understand it is now illegal, but there you go. So there's a burning plate, and then the stove just folds out, and you literally lay the plate in the groove as you go, and then the last one, there's a little clip, and it just goes on there, and that's it. It is, to be fair, very, very rigid. Now, I had to modify it, and the reason I've done that is because I like alcohol stoves. I have a set of criteria in my head, and that is that it needs to use no more than half a fluid ounce of meths, alcohol, to boil, and that's a rolling boil, for 250 millilitres, i.e. a cup of cold water, and ideally to do that as quickly as possible. The Monkey Boy stove, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail in a little while, sits on the platform. You add your meths and light it, and as soon as I dropped, before I lit it, as soon as I dropped it on there, I knew it was going to cause me issues, and that is because the platform is too high. So when the mug goes on, it will take a canteen cup. This is a 750ml titanium mug from our kit. I've had it for years, and it's stable. There's no problems there. But the problem is, from where the flame is to the bottom of the cup is not ideal. So as it was out of the packet, I tested it with half a fluid ounce of meths, 250ml of water, and it gave me a burn time of, a boil time of 6 minutes 51 seconds, so it's almost 7 seconds. That was in the utility room, so there's no wind movement, it wasn't outside. Room temperature is about 16 degrees in there. That's almost 7 minutes to get 250ml of water to boil. So that to me was an immediate foul. So what I had to do, I knew what the problem was, and it was that the platform's too high. So what I've done, and I haven't got a Dremel, it's on my shopping list now, so I choose a drill bit and a file. But you can see my marks still from it. And I marked that, put another slot below each of the existing ones, and it is 15mm lower, or if you're still dealing with Imperial, just over ½ inch. So it's lower. So now what that enables me to do is put the platform in a lower position. So it's actually here and not there. And then when the burner's in there and the cup is on top, I've got 1 3/4 inches, which is pretty much spot on for an alcohol stove. Even with trangiers, they want that 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 gap between the top of the burner and the base of your pot. If it's any less, your boil times are extended. So that was a mod, and that's with the Monkey Boy stove in there. And by doing that, exactly the same, 1/2 fluid ounce, 250 ml of water. This time I got a rolling boil in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So that was 2 minutes 10 seconds faster by modding the stand, so it lowered the burner. It then went on to maintain that rolling boil for 8 minutes and 37 seconds. So even if it's a bit windy, that 1/2 fluid ounce is ample to get 250 ml, a cupful of water to a decent rolling boil. Now, if I'm honest, that is normally the only amount of liquid water that I will boil, because I usually land up with Rat Pack meals. That's 250 ml in the pot, squeeze the meal in, boil it, keep it boiling for a little while. The water makes me coffee, the food's hot. But if I'm using dehydrated food, then I need to be able to boil more water to start with. So I've done another test. This time I put 1 fluid ounce, because I'm quite happy to use 1 fluid ounce when I know that I'm also cooking a meal or heating a meal. 1 fluid ounce, but this time I put 500 millilitres in this cup. So it's twice the amount of water, so it's 2 cups, 1 fluid ounce of fuel, rolling boil, 7 minutes 35 seconds, which I think is quite amazing. So that's 7.5 minutes really for 1/2 litre of water and 1 fluid ounce of meths. And that continued to roll in boil for 13 minutes, which again is absolutely ideal. This little Monkey Boy stove, the actual tin that I've used to make this one, because you can make them in different sizes, is 30 ml. And its capacity really is just 1 fluid ounce. If you go and that's over the top of that, it becomes saturated and potentially it's a little bit on the dangerous side. But anyway, that's it. I recommend this, but if you're going to use it for a Monkey Boy stove, that sort of thing, be prepared to lower the platform by putting slots in it. It is what it is. What you can do, I've seen it from the manufacturer, but I haven't tried it, and I'll explain why, is if you get a standard Trangia burner, it actually fits in the top slots, so it holds the Trangia in place by the rim of the Trangia being in the slot. I haven't tested a boil time on that. Reason being is the Trangia burners are excellent. I've got at least 3 of them, but they're heavy, and this kit I wanted to make as lightweight as possible. Hence why I'm using the Monkey Boy stove. Total weight for this weighs in at 104 grams without the pouch, so it's more than the 100 gram that the manufacturer said. This little Monkey Boy stove just weighs 12 grams. So total weight, without fuel obviously, is 116 grams. And it folds flat. And for me, this is my go-to for boiling water now, because I'm just impressed with it, but you have to mod it first. And that's it. Next is going to be a pictorial that runs for approximately 1 minute, and it will explain how to make the Monkey Boy stove. And the reason it's called Monkey Boy Stove is that in about 2007, 2008, a member by the name of Monkey Boy on the Bushcraft UK forums invented it. He was the first. Since then, everyone's copied it. Loads of people have renamed it to suit their purposes, and there's loads of companies selling them, but he was the original, and that's why I'm still referring to it as a Monkey Boy Stove. If you like the content, consider subscribing, give us one of them, and I'd love to read your comments. I'll shut up now and a pictorial will play on how to make this. Enjoy your weekend, see you soon.